evening, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us for tonight's webinar, Get Down to Business, Undergraduate Edition, Paying Your Bill, Getting Your Financial Aid, and Avoiding Long Lines. My name is Sabella Robison, and I am the director of USD's One Stop Student Center, and I've had the pleasure of working at USD for 9 wonderful years. And tonight, before we jump into the agenda, I'm going to have the colleagues who are joining me tonight introduce themselves. So I'll let them take it away.
Hi, everyone. My name is Miranda Nuevo. I am a one-stop counselor at the One Stop Student Center, and I'm also a proud USD alum.
Hi, everyone. My name is Brandon McCurry. I work in our Student Affairs Division, specifically in Residential Life, and I'm also a USD alum. Happy to be here.
Hi, everyone. My name is Perla Cruz. I'm a counselor here at the One Stop Student Center and also a proud USD alum.
Right. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Let's take a look at tonight's agenda. So on the list for tonight, we're going to hear about meal plans, ID cards, textbooks. We'll hear some housing information, class schedule information, as well as acquaint you with a new tab you'll have in your portal very soon. We're going to talk about what the One Stop Student Center does and how we can help you, and cover a range of other topics, including FERPA, financial aid, billing and payment, and last but not least, health insurance. So now I'm going to hand things over to Brandon to get us started on meal plans and ID cards.
Thanks, Sabella. Happy to talk about a lot of the things that kind of live under our auxiliary services team. Specifically talking a little bit first about our meal plans. The meal plans are a really great opportunity to save a little bit of money when you're eating in the campus residence halls and dining facilities. It's honestly one of the best ways that we see kind of community grow is when you get the chance to eat and spend time around mealtime with friends, with others that are living and eating on campus. And so by July 1st, you'll see those meal plans assigned on your account by following kind of the directions there under your My San Diego portal. You have the option, actually, once you see that meal plan added, to increase your meal plan and your dining dollars if you would like to do that. The meal plan is divided into meal swipes that kind of are function throughout most of our dining facilities, but particularly at our main Student Life Pavilion dining facility, where we have all-you-can-eat options for dinner and brunches on the weekend. And it's also going to incorporate some dining dollars, which in a way function as like as a debit card and how you would spend them while at the different dining facilities. For any of our students that are living on campus that are first and second year students, so students with kind of less than 60 units completed, those meal plans are requirements. And it's because we know that so much of our first and second year experience and formation while living on campus is both happening in the residence halls, but also in the dining halls. And so again, you can take a look at some more information for the dining plans and meal plans there at the san diego.edu /dining link. ID cards. So an ID card is a pretty integral part of your of being on campus and your experience on campus, particularly as a residential student, because it'll also function as your key to your room and your apartment when you're a second year student or beyond. The best way to get ahead and get your ID card set up is to submit a photograph, and you can do that from anywhere, just at the link listed there. And once you have that submitted, as long as you get it done by July 31st, our team can actually have your ID card printed by the time you are moving to campus or as a commuter student coming to campus for orientation. So make sure you get your photos submitted in advance so we can get your ID cards printed by the time you arrive in late August. Textbooks, you'll start to receive information from your faculty about classes and things like that, including what's going to be required of you for textbooks in mid-August. And you could do that pre-ordering by August 20th to make sure that you'll be able to pick up your books during orientation. It is good to pre-order your things because things do get a little busy with lots going on during orientation, and that'll give our Torero store team lots of time to get your books and things sorted when you're here for the orientation period. There's also through our Torero store the option to rent some textbooks, which helps save a little bit of money. So that's something to also take a look at. And there's some additional things such as laptops or tablets, things like that you can order through the Torero store that can be charged directly to your student account. So make sure to check out the Torero store website, usdtorerostore.com, to learn a little bit more about what you can do or what they offer there. And as a side note there, you'll see at the bottom that auxiliary services is hiring. They're actually, auxiliary services is one of the main employers for student employment around campus, whether that's working in the trail store, working in our dining facilities, working in kind of our operations for the auxiliary team. So if you're looking for a job as a student, that's a great place to start, is to take a look at their student employment page listed there. One of the big things I'll transition to now is really our student on-campus living experience, so living in the on-campus residence halls. So I'd like to start a little bit first with kind of what does occupancy look like in campus housing. Some of the things as we're working through kind of a post-COVID era or working our way through kind of COVID environment, is that we have returned to a very typical occupancy setup for us, which means we have a lot of doubles, we have a lot of triples, and we have some quads in the first year experience. The nice thing about all those setups is that whether it's in a specific housing area that you're looking for, or it's in a different type, in a specific room type that you're looking for, we know that our students have good experiences, whether it's in a double, triple, quad, and regardless of what housing areas that you end up living in. So we want students to remain, open-minded and optimistic. We know that there's really good experiences to be had in all of our residence halls. So let's talk a little bit about what those residence halls look like and how they're tied to our living learning communities. So the LLC experience is probably something you've heard about so far or already. When you completed the first year advising questionnaire in May, that was something that gave you the opportunity to kind of preference what courses you wanted, but also what living learning community you were most interested in. Those LLCs were linked to all of our housing areas, and each of those experiences, though a little bit different in the theme and kind of how they're described or how they're oriented, are all designed to do the same thing, and that's to give students an experience both in the classroom and out of the classroom where they can engage with peers and people that live in their residence halls in ways that they're seeing and learning from faculty in the classroom, and then programmed by the RAs, the resident assistants, the scholastic assistants, our student leaders that are helping them grow in their community and establish what they're learning in the classroom and in programs outside of the classroom. So that kind of overlap helps students ideally connect to the USD mission and what the university is about. So regardless of what LLC you're going to end up in, that experience is universal throughout all of those. Once your LLC is established and your housing is established, we also are providing that information to you via your email addresses, your USD email addresses in mid-July. So keep an eye out in mid-July for an email to your USD account. It'll include like I mentioned, your LLC theme, your class schedule, and it'll include your room assignment and your roommates. And it's a great opportunity then to start to outreach to your roommates, make connections, and start to talk about what it's going to look like when you move onto campus, what you're going to bring, what your roommates will bring to the room. When we talk about residential life in general, there's a lot of support for our on-campus students. I mentioned the student leaders, so the resident assistants and scholastic assistants are student leaders, most of which have had the experience that you will have before. They've had the opportunity to go through classes and kind of a year or two of classroom experience, but also an on-campus living experience, and can help be a connection for you throughout the year that you're living with them or you're by them, to really be a resource and a facilitator for how to utilize the many things that USD has to offer and the many support systems that exist at USD. They're also planning programs that are really geared to community building, how you're gonna form relationships with your class and classmates. But also, again, as the connection to the living learning community, how they're going to connect with what you're learning from faculty in the classrooms. So the RAs and the scholastic assistants essays are a great resource within the residential communities. There's also folks like myself who are full-time professionals that oversee each of our housing areas that are there for you to actualize as a resource and to be a support system as you're navigating what it looks like to be living in the residence halls and going to school and college kind of for the first time. The big date that you'll see kind of posted from us is Saturday, August 26th as our move-in date. That's going to be a big experience for our students moving onto campus for the first time. We'll have lots of move-in team helpers to help you get situated and settled. And so though it may feel a little chaotic, it's also a really exciting time to start your USD journey. So we're really looking forward to all these next steps over the course of the summer for you. And of course, if you're looking for more information, about housing areas and getting into the specifics of those or questions for our team, all that information can be found on our website listed there at the bottom of the slide.
Thank you so much for all of that wonderful information, Brandon. It's bringing back memories to my first year at USD. Hello again, my name is Perla and I'm part of the One Stop team. The One Stop Student Center is a great resource for our students, families, and any supporters. We are ready to answer your questions regarding financial aid, student accounts and billing, and registration questions. We are located in the University Center, room 126. If and when you're on campus and you have those questions, feel free to come on down and sign in when you arrive to our office. We have counselors ready to assist you in person to answer those questions. I would like to mention that we do have a few counselors who are bilingual, so fluent in Spanish or Vietnamese. So please let us know if you would prefer one of those options at any time. You're also able to connect with us via the phone. So we have our phone number there on the screen. So please feel free to give us a call during our normal business hours and or send us an email at onestop@sandiego.edu. We do have a lot of information on our website, sandiego.edu/onestop. We encourage you to familiarize yourself with our website. Our website will also have our link to our Calendly if you are interested in making a phone appointment with one of our representatives. Another area that students will be very familiar with by the time that you begin at USD and beyond is the My San Diego portal. The My San Diego portal, as mentioned a little bit earlier, you will have access to tabs that include the My Academics tab, which we will view in just a second, the My Financial Aid tab, where you will be able to view your financial aid awards, view any additional financial aid requirement that you may have. You will also have access to My Student Account, where you will have the link to view your billing statements and things in that nature. You will also have access to the My Torero Services tab, where you will be able to update your mailing address, emergency contact information, preferred name, and also view that meal plan information that Brandon was mentioning earlier, how many dining dollars you have left, and how many meal swipes you have. And another important topic that we would like to discuss would be that FERPA tab. As Brandon was also mentioning, on the My Academics tab of the portal, you will see that when your schedule is released in mid-July, this is where you will find your schedule. So you will locate that My Academics tab under the Torero Hub, and you will select the View My Schedule link. A new tab will open where you will be able to view the courses that you're registered for, view the professors, the location, all of that good information. One thing that we wanted to mention before we move on was that in that initial email that you will receive regarding your schedule, you will also have the opportunity to make an appointment with the class scheduler. And we only encourage these appointments to be made if you have an urgent concern regarding your schedule. For example, if you're an athlete and you have practice that occurs at the same time as one of your courses that you've been registered for, or perhaps you took an AP test that you didn't know that was going to transfer, but you are now aware that that course is going to be transferred and you've been registered for that class. So for those important issues, please feel free to make an appointment with the class scheduler. For other concerns regarding your schedule, we ask that you hold on and wait until you meet with your faculty LLC advisor to remove that advisor's hold, where you will then be able to make schedule changes on your own. Another important topic that we would like to mention as new incoming students begin your time at USD is FERPA. FERPA stands for the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. This is a federal law that basically protects the privacy and release of student records. FERPA has not gone into effect just yet. It goes into effect the first day of school. So for this incoming class, it's going to be on August 30th. Right now, parents or supporters may have contacted us regarding financial aid information, billing, academic questions. Because FERPA has not gone into effect just yet, we are still able to release information regarding these areas. As soon as it goes into effect, we will no longer be able to disclose specifics regarding these areas unless the individual is FERPA authorized. Students, if you wish to set up a specific individual under your FERPA authorization, you are going to be able to do so via your student portal. Under the Torero Hub, under the FERPA tab, you will see an option that says Add Proxy. Here you will be able to set up an individual with their profile. You'll be able to put in their first and last name, a valid email address. They will then receive an email to that address asking them to set up their account, create a password and a PIN so they can have access to their own FERPA authorized portal. It is important that you select the authorization section here that you see on the screen so that you may manually select the areas that you want somebody to be authorized for. Areas such as My Academics, financial aid, student accounts, and USD maintained loans, for example. We encourage you, if you are going to be authorizing somebody for financial aid, that you also consider authorizing them for student accounts, just because those two go hand in hand a lot of the times. But if you have any questions on how to authorize somebody on FERPA or any questions on the information that we've discussed so far, please feel free to reach out, and you can also find a FERPA authorization step-by-step tutorial on our website. And with that, I will go ahead and hand it over to Miranda, who will dive into financial aid.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Perla. Well, hello again, everyone. My name is Miranda, and I'm also a one-stop counselor who will be assisting you during your time at USD. So let's get right into financial aid. A major aspect of your college career will be in the financial aid realm, but financial aid is here to help. There are 3 different applications for financial aid, but you only need to file one. Many of you may have already submitted your application, and that's fantastic. If you haven't, that's okay. We just recommend getting it in as soon as possible. The sooner you submit it, the sooner you'll have a financial aid award. The first application that we're going to go over today is the FAFSA, or the Free Application for Federal Student Aid. Those who are eligible to submit FAFSA include U.S. citizens and eligible non-citizens. The FAFSA is accessible via studentaid.gov and should be submitted by the priority deadline of March 2nd each year. But again, don't worry if you haven't submitted, there's still time. Just get it in as soon as possible. Your FAFSA is going to include your prior year, or PPY, tax information. For example, the 2023 to 2024 FAFSA uses 2021 tax information. Next year's 2024 to 2025 FAFSA will use 2022 tax information, and so on. The FAFSA is going to prompt a financial aid award for the fall and spring, but there are separate financial aid applications for summer and intersession if you choose to attend either of these optional terms. And the next slide, we're going to go over the next 2 applications. If you're not eligible to submit the FAFSA, there are 2 other financial applications that might work for you. That's the California DREAM Act and the USD DREAM Act application. For more details on which one is appropriate for you, you can visit our financial aid website at sandiego.edu/financial aid or via one of the links on this slide. These applications are also due by the priority deadline of March 2nd. Again, no stress, but just get it in as soon as possible. These applications also use the prior tax year's information and require separate applications for intersession and summer. I'd say the biggest takeaway when talking about these applications is that there are 3 separate ones, but you'd only need to submit one annually, either the FAFSA, the California DREAM Act, or the USD DREAM Act. So once you've submitted your financial aid application, the one that's best for you, it can take a few weeks for a financial aid award offer to be prepared. But once it's ready to view, you will receive an email to your USD email account prompting you to log into the My San Diego portal and navigating to the My Financial Aid tab, which is under the Torero Hub tab. Once there, you can click the gray icon in the center of the other links icon area of the screen. It'll say financial aid offers. You may need to disable your pop-up blocker since it may open up your financial aid award in a different tab or browser. But once you're there, you should just make sure that you're viewing the 2023 to 2024 financial aid application. It's possible it'll say a different year. Easy to switch it. You'll just do that in the general information tab and then click select term from the dropdown, ensuring you're on the 2023 to 2024 academic year financial aid. So when you're looking at your financial aid, you'll see there's various types of financial aid that may be offered. And one thing I'd really like to stress is that every financial aid award offer is going to look different. So if you don't see all of these on your individual award package, no worries, but we'll go over all of them just so you can kind of get a full idea of the types of financial aid that is available. So first, merit scholarships are awarded by the Office of Undergraduate Admissions and awarded upon acceptance to USD. You must maintain at least a 3.0 GPA and full-time enrollment, or 12 to 18 units, for this award to stick with you during your time at USD. The next is the USD grant, which is a need-based scholarship determined by your financial aid application submission annually. So that's why it's really important to submit a financial aid application every year so you can see if you're eligible for some of these award types like the USD grant. The USD grant requires a 2.0 GPA and full-time enrollment as well. So unlike the merit scholarship, it does require a financial aid application each year to determine eligibility, and 12 to 18 units is required alongside that 2.0 GPA. Next, we're going to talk about some federal loans. So there's 3 different kinds of loans that you'd see on the federal level offered. That's the subsidized and unsubsidized student loans and the Parent Plus loan. Interest rates are determined yearly. Additionally, these loans are subject to origination or loan processing fees. So just something to keep in mind when you're accepting the loans, that they will end up dispersing or paying out for a little bit less than what you accept them for, just because of that origination fee that's going to be taken out. The Parent Plus loan requires a credit check. So something to keep in mind if your parent is going to be accepting a Parent Plus loan on your behalf. If you do plan to accept these loans, we recommend completing all of the loan requirements by the end of July. Those loan requirements can be found on studentaid.gov. You can also see a link to instructions and more information on your financial aid requirements section of the portal. That'll be located in the My Financial Aid tab as well. But ultimately, we say get those loan requirements done by the end of July. And then you'll notice the red flags may stay on, or the outstanding status may stay on your portal a little bit longer, but don't worry if you've completed the necessary requirements and those red flags are still on, know that those will start coming off end of July, early August. But you're always welcome to reach out to us if after that time you find that you've done the requirements, but they're still on there. Feel free to reach out. We're happy to help here at One Stop. Another type of financial aid you may or may not be offered is federal work study, which is a need-based award to work on campus. If you have federal work study offered, you can pursue job opportunities via the Student Employment Center website, which we have a screenshot of on the page here. There are various job boards available specific for federal work study, non-federal work study, off campus, but there will also be a federal work study specific job fair during the first week of school. If you don't have federal work study offered, you can appeal via the federal work study appeal form, which is also available on this website, the Student Employment Center website. If you don't have federal work study and you still want to work on campus, you can see on the slide that there's also a job board for non-federal work study or casual positions, which are other on-campus job opportunities outside of federal work study. We also post jobs for off-campus positions. So if you didn't want to work on campus, there are other resources and other job opportunities available. We recommend reviewing this website, seeing what job opportunities may be best for you. There's a lot of resources here. Ultimately, if you plan to work while you're in school, please review the website for what documents you'll need to bring with you for onboarding purposes. Another piece of financial aid that you could utilize is through Scholarship Universe. So USD students can take advantage of Scholarship Universe via the My San Diego portal. It is a search engine that filters and links students to various scholarship opportunities in a really easy to access manner. We recommend utilizing the resource early in the school year and even throughout the school year, because you never know what financial aid might be out there and when. And Scholarship Universe provides thousands of scholarships, and just keep in mind, all searches should be free. So it's a great resource to take advantage of. So lastly, in the realm of financial aid, we understand that you may be submitting financial aid applications using tax information from 2 years prior, and that your financial circumstances may have changed. So if this is the case, you can submit an appeal via our appeal webpage, which is available at the link on this slide. This is a screenshot from that page showing all of the different appeal options you may utilize. You do not need to submit all of the appeals listed, but we encourage you, and you're welcome to read through them and submit the appeal that applies most to your situation. If you have questions about which one may be best for you, One Stop's here to help walk you through that, walk you through the process and offer advice about which one may be best. Appeals can take a few weeks to review, but you'll be notified via email once a review is complete and if your financial aid award has been updated. So any questions that come up along the way regarding anything that we've discussed, you can always reach out to One Stop. But with that, I'm going to send it to Sevilla.
Thanks so much, Miranda. All right, everyone. I know we've gone over a lot of information so far tonight. And I do want to let you know, if you're having questions, we have a team standing by to help with any of those via our chat. You might have already seen it, and you might already be taking advantage of it. But let's continue on. We're going to talk about your student account. And so another section under the Torero Hub is the My Student Account. And that's what you see on your screen right here. And there is a link that says My Online Student Account. When you click on that link, you will want to make sure that your pop-up blocker is disabled so that this next page you're seeing before you can open up successfully. This is where all of the charges and all of the credits during your time at USD will live in terms of billing. This is also where all of your billing statements will be available, where you can see your balance, make payments, and do a whole bunch of things. So let's get started. I'm going to tell you what exactly you're going to do in here. So billing statements, that was the thing I just mentioned. I wanted to familiarize you with the My Online Student Account page so that you would know your billing statements come out electronically and they live in that My Online Student Account. We won't be sending anything in the mail. So just wanted to make sure you're aware of that. The bill for fall 2023 will be emailed the first week in August. So you'll get an email with a link and it will take you into the portal where you can view it. After that, every month that you have any activity on your student account, you will get an email notifying you of a bill. And a really nice thing is that if you've added someone on your FERPA and you've given them student account access, they will also get the billing notification. So it's important that you do that if you're going to have someone helping you with this part of being a student. Any additional charges that are going to show up on your bill will always be due the first day of the following month that you receive your statement. Charges that you might see on your bill may include a parking permit if you're a commuter student, bookstore charges if you've opted to charge something to your student account, course fees, and what you most certainly will see is your tuition, your mandatory fees, and if you're on campus, your housing and your meal plan charge as well. In terms of tuition deadlines for fall 2023, the tuition will be due on August 23rd. And looking ahead to the spring semester in 2024, you can anticipate a deadline of January 22nd. So let's talk about payment options for these billing statements you're going to receive. I did want to share with you that we do have payment plans available if this is something you're interested in. We have a 5-month or a 4-month payment plan available. If you do want to use the 5-month plan, I recommend enrolling right when that billing statement comes out in the first week of August. This will allow you enough time to spread your payments out evenly over the course of the semester. There is a $50 fee to enroll in the payment plan every semester, so just keep that in mind. And in terms of other payment methods, beyond just enrolling in a payment plan, you can utilize your financial aid. So you just want to make sure that you've done all your financial aid requirements that we were just hearing about from Miranda. Also, please keep in mind that if you will be making a payment out of your own pocket, either in full or through a payment plan, we don't accept any debit or credit cards for your tuition and fees. It does have to be a payment online using a checking or a savings account. If you're an international student, we do have Flywire as an option for payment, as well as wire transfer. We do encourage you to use Flywire rather than wire transfer if possible, because the process is a little bit more seamless. In addition, many of you may be using a 529 plan, and I wanted to let you know we do accept 529 plan payments. We do recommend allowing at least 1 to 2 weeks for processing. So what I would recommend is when you get the billing notification that first week in August, you'll want to provide that to your plan so that they can send the payment directly to USD, and that should leave you enough time. Please know that any overpayments that are sent from a 529 plan can either be kept on your student account for future charges, or it can be returned to the 529 plan. And last but not least, we do also take cash, though this honestly is the option I would least recommend, just because we don't want you walking around with a whole bunch of cash. But if you do want to make a cash payment, you'll make that over in the Hughes Administration Building at the cashier's office. We have a link here to our website that outlines all of these payment options in case you lose track of them. Okay, some of you may be anticipating a refund rather than having a payment that you have to make. And this might be because you've borrowed more financially than what you need to cover your charges. So 2 different kinds of refund possibilities you might see. First is a student refund. So any refunds issued to students will be issued in the first 2 weeks of the semester. We have 2 different ways that these can be issued. The first way, and the way we recommend, is through direct deposit. In order to get any financial aid refunds via direct deposit, you do need to enroll, and it does take 10 business days for a direct deposit account to become active. So if you already know that you are going to be anticipating a refund, or you think you are, I would recommend going to your My Online Student account now and setting up your direct deposit with a checking or savings account, just so that it's there the entire time you're at USD in case you have a refund. So for direct deposit, those are processed in the first 2 weeks of the semester. And as long as you've already set up that direct deposit account and it's been past the setup window, it's about 3 to 5 days to show in your bank account, and it is very secure. The other option would be to have your refund mailed to you. And this is why in the beginning of tonight's session, we talked about, under that Torero services page in your portal, making sure your address is up to date. So if you're going to anticipate a refund and having it mailed, just double check your address to make sure we have the correct one on file. And those go through regular mail. So those can take anywhere from 5 to 7 days to reach your intended mailing address once they're issued. Outside of student refunds, there may also be a parent refund issued. And this would come into play if you're a parent who has borrowed a Parent Plus loan for your student, and you've indicated that you would like any extra funds from the Parent Plus loan to go back to you. These are also issued in the first 2 weeks of the semester, and they will be issued via paper check to the address you put on your loan application. So you do have the option to authorize that those funds go to your student instead of you. So when we look to issue refunds, we will be double checking to see what preference you listed, and we'll follow that. Okay, so let's transition to a new topic, and that would be health insurance. And I do want to bring this up because it comes into play with your bill. So all full-time students at USD are required to have health insurance. So what you will notice is that on your billing statement, there will be a charge for health insurance. However, if you are covered on your own insurance or through your family's insurance, you do have the ability to submit a waiver so that you can, if approved, waive out of the USD health insurance plan, which is an Aetna plan. So really important, keep an eye on your USD email account. You know, for all the topics we've been discussing, you're going to get lots of emails over the summer, and this will be one of them. And you probably have already gotten a couple emails on this topic by now. So make sure that you take action and upload your health insurance information if you're planning to waive out, because all students who are full-time are automatically opted into the health insurance until you submit your insurance information and it's reviewed and approved that your plan meets the requirements necessary. Don't worry if you haven't done this yet. You can see on my screen here that September 11th is the deadline. So you do still have some time. If you want to view any of the information about the USD plan, you can go to our website and it's displayed here on the screen. So you can peruse that and see if you actually would like that plan instead. This is an annual plan, so just know that you will have to waive out every year that you don't want the plan. And if you have any questions, wellness@sandiego.edu will be your best point of contact. Okay, so let's also talk about the Military and Veterans Program at USD. If you are a military connected student, we do have a wonderful program on campus that is here to support you. You may be planning to use your VA education benefits. And so what we want to have you do is go to the sandiego.edu/military website. From there, you'll learn about how to submit all of the information needed in order for your VA education benefits to be put in place for the upcoming school year. And so definitely connect with their team. military@sandiego.edu is their email address. They're located just upstairs from the One Stop Student Center in the University Center building, room 225. So you can walk in and see them, or you can give them a call. So this will be really important to check off your list if you are planning to use these benefits to pay for your bill. I also wanted to make a plug for the mobile app. So I know most of us are carrying around our phones everywhere we go. And if this sounds like you, definitely download our mobile app, either from the App Store or from Google Play. And this is what it will look like. And this is a really great feature that you have because your ID card will be on here electronically. You can see your grades. You can see where the tram is on campus. You can actually see live where it is. If you're looking to pick it up, you can order your textbooks. You can see important phone numbers, what offices are open. So this is a really, really great tool to have. So I would definitely recommend getting that on your phone today. And speaking of ways to get connected, beyond the app, we know you're going to have a lot on your plate in terms of just adjusting to being in college, adjusting to USD. And, there is some business throughout the year that you will have to stay on top of as a student. And the One Stop would love to help you with that. So if you would like to connect with us on social media, we will send you all of those important dates and deadlines, like when is that bill due in January? I know we heard about that all the way back in July, or when are we registering for spring? All those kind of things that are probably not on your mind right now, but they will be at some point. We are happy to be the ones to remind you of that. And we do have a special contest going on. So anybody that wants to connect with us specifically on Instagram, and you can see all of our handles here. So if you do that for Instagram specifically by move-in day, which I know Brandon shared was August 26th, we'll be tracking that and we will be doing a random drawing to give away 5 front of the line passes. So I know you haven't probably been to One Stop yet, but I can tell you we get very busy at the beginning of the school year and especially during registration. And so these coveted front of the line passes will allow you to cut in front of everyone, which depending on when you cash them in the year, that may save you an hour or 2 wait time. So I would definitely encourage you to hop on to Instagram and, get yourself entered for one of those. They're really, like I said, coveted. We don't give these away very often at all. All right. So as we are wrapping up, a couple important reminders. If you remember nothing else, because I know you might be on information overload right now, and that's okay. Know that we are recording this session and it will be on our website very shortly. Couple last things we're going to leave you with. Number 1, Make sure to upload your immunization information to your My Wellness portal. You can access the My Wellness portal through your main My San Diego portal. And if you run into questions, wellness@sandiego.edu is there to help. Make sure to send your high school transcripts. So these are your final transcripts and any AP or IB scores to the Office of Undergraduate Admission. Complete any remaining financial aid requirements and pay your bill by August 23rd. And last but not least, enroll in or waive out of that health insurance. And the deadline for that is September 11th. So we're really lucky at USD to have a lot of offices that you are going to interact with. And, you met multiple offices here today, and we talked about a lot of areas. So here is all of the contact information for the different areas that we discussed today. So you can see on here the meal plans, ID cards, that's our campus card office. So here's their information. Anything for financial aid and billing and payment, that's going to be your one-stop team. You can see our information here. Any housing questions, that's going to be Brandon and his team at Residential Life. And then wellness is going to be your contact for immunization questions and health insurance. So feel free to take a picture of this, or like I said, the recording will be up shortly, but these are all some really important contacts that you're going to need during your time at USD. So we so appreciate you tuning in tonight. We have representatives from all of our office behind the scenes who I think you've been chatting with already, but I want you to know we're going to hang out for a bit longer to answer any questions that are on your mind. So feel free to send those in. We are ready and waiting to keep answering them. Hope you have a wonderful night, and we can't wait to see you in the fall.